Hi guys, welcome back to another timeless reading. This is from the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. This is a really good, especially if you know what you're talking about, you know your signs and symbols. If you don't, you can always go to Astrology Answers. If you go in like a search engine, so astrologyanswers.com. Deborah Silverman's on there. I really love her. She's someone that I really look up to. But you can also see, if you go in your search engine, Astrology Answers Tarot deck meetings. For the longest time when I started this, until I got used to it's like where you grow is where you put your energy. And I feel like this is where they were talking about with, you know, learning, like doing readings. Because I was doing like 4 to 5, 6 readings a day, dailies, and all that good stuff. So you really, you know what I mean? Get into your craft, get into the basics. That's, you know what I mean? What do these cards actually mean? You allow the cards to tell the story, but you could sit there and go off the meeting because it's just like when spirit's sitting there giving you downloads, it's like how is this fitting into this person's everyday life? So you know it's just like don't get obsessed with it though. I only do a reading for myself like once a year. I'm really drawn to a fellow reader off of TikTok. I'm gonna reach out to her, get a reading, see how that goes. But you know, I pull for myself and get channel messages here and there. It happens all the time, but like an actual serious sit down kind of thing, I'll have to get into that. So a lot of us are trying to find that balance, infinity symbol at ebb and flow. I love the monarch butterfly that we see in here because, sometimes this is significant for a lot of people. So me, this is like, my dad with the monarch butterfly after he passed away, there was one in the driveway and, I took so many pictures of it. I want to get a monarch on my wrist to represent him. But balancing that ebb and flow. This is kind of like where we talk about Joyce Meyer was talking about, like not making our days into crap by overthinking and thinking about things that haven't even happened yet. I feel like a lot of people that have children in their life, or you know what I mean, are sit there even in their own lives. It's like where is the next couple of years going? Like, like there was a reminder in my For You page. So pay attention to what's in your everyday life, where they're like, what you prayed for is what you're enjoying right now, and it's true. Like we prayed for a move to where we're not being affected by people unfortunately going through substance abuse and how it negatively it impacts us. You know what I mean? Like you try as much as you can to stay out of their business and stuff, but when you're setting things on fire at 5 in the morning and you're in a triplex, it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's time to go. Ace of Pentacles, I love this because it's just like it talks about our financial endeavors. We did get the King of Pentacles. So I feel like a lot of us, I feel like that's where the Two of Pentacles comes back in. It's like, some of you had break. You were lucky enough to have a break for Christmas, and now we're getting back into the flow of things. Sometimes it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to get back into that flow after being off for 2 weeks. But I feel like it's just like, taking easy with everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Getting back on a sleep schedule. Sleep is so important. We overlook and don't, give sleep enough credit. I'm not talking about oversleeping. I'm talking about the time that it takes for you to mentally and physically rejuvenate. You know what I mean? At least 7 to 8 hours. You know what I mean? Depending on your age, some of, in school and stuff like that, sometimes you'll need a little bit more. People don't realize when you're really focused and utilizing your brain, how it takes an impact on your body. Like, I did a reading for someone that I haven't read for almost a year, and they're like, "Hey, can you do a reading for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, I got you." He literally messaged me like I'm sitting there and get my decks out. I was like, "Let me take out the dog first, so that way I don't have to stop in the middle of the reading because it was almost time for him to go out." So I was just like, "Let me take care of this first." As soon as I sat down, I was ready. I was like starting to write channel messages, and he's like, "Hey, are you, can you get me tonight?" And I'm like, literally doing it right now." 3 hours. I didn't plan it for it to be 3 hours, but the way that I see it is like, I sit there and give it my all until cards start repeating or I'm exhausted. You know, I felt like I could have done more for him, but I'm just like, you know, got to sit there and woo-sow and take care of myself as well. Like, sometimes, especially when you're in that flow of energy. I told him anything else comes up, I'll message him. We have the Magician. So you have everything that you need for this next chapter. I love how like the portal kind of energy. But I also like with the sun, the same kind of energy here. Like, you kind of get the same hue with the Three Cups celebrations. For some people, they're celebrating birthdays, like the kids' grandmother's birthday's coming up. We have the Festival of Trees coming up in February. We have a fast going on Friday. So there's still, like, we just came out of Hanukkah, but there's other things that are coming up. You know what I mean? Like, these are ones that I didn't start getting into the celebration of the trees so much, but you know what I mean? When you go into a deeper level like this, that when that came up last year, I was like, I'm going to do my vision board. It is like, the trees are getting another age, but it's also talking about the rebirth. We're heading, we literally just got into winter in our Canada, right? But it's just like, at the same time, we had a very early winter. It started snowing here on November 19th, like heavy, snow. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, how bad is this winter going to be? If you look at the animals, you know what I mean? Like, I follow Katie Van Sky. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's very, very popular. She has a farm in Tennessee, miniature horses and big horses. You know what I mean? Seven, Squirt, Baby George, all these little beautiful animals that she has, all her goatees. But you know what I mean? It's just like you could see, like, their hair is longer and everything like that. I'm like, ugh, what does this winter have in store? Like, I've been getting downloads, but I haven't really done a video for it, so I might get into that. It's just, everything's just been busy. It's like literally Hanukkah, Christmas, family Christmas together. I work the whole time, like, with my job, readings, I haven't had time to post. That's why I said timeless reading. I don't know when's the next time I'm going to be able to post. But it's just giving you that encouragement. I love the fact that the cheetah, I feel like a lot of us want to rush things that come into our life. You know what I mean? Cheetah is very powerful, very strong. So maybe this is talking about maybe working on your leg muscles, because they're really highlighting the hind legs. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, something with myself is because it snowed so early. I'm like, maybe I should start getting back into working out. I don't want to overexert myself because I'm still doing other things, but at the same time, it's like, the shoveling isn't like it was last year. We were shoveling every second, third day. So, you know what I mean? It takes a toll on you. I definitely did get exhausted there for a bit. The star card, I love the fact with the two pentacles right underneath it. It's like after a rough patch, it's like a time of peace and harmony. And this is what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm not taking on any more than I need to. I'm woo-sowing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got, readings to take care of. I want to get to dailies more. I definitely want to get into these channel messages, like when it comes to the world and what's going on. They usually talk about politics and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? They touched on a lot of things the last time I did this that has happened, with Israel, P. Diddy, all that stuff. So they didn't go into too many in details with him. They were just showing him. But, it's talking about finding that balance of ebb and flow. I did a meditation for the first time in a long time. Like, this weekend definitely was, I felt tired, but I'm like, okay, I need to get my eyebrows done. I need to do my eyebrows. So I did my eyebrows. And then I just felt, you know what I mean? It's like you did it, and you're like, oh, I love the way they look. I'm like, okay, what else can I do? You know what I mean? Because I already done my prayers for Shabbat, so I'm like, let me go and do my vision board. I didn't realize that I was going to be doing it for 4.5 hours. Like, everything and everything. I had one of those big bristle boards, though, from the dollar store, so it wasn't no little one. I'm like, anything and everything, and I went to the same theme that I did last year with, like, a tree of life, where it was like, it was the celebration of the trees, and I had looked that up, and they were showing, like, a tree with, like, pomegranates and olives and very Mediterranean feel to it, so not avocados, what do you call those? Apricots. So, very Mediterranean fruit and stuff like that. So, did the kind of same theme with that this year. You know what I mean? And each branch was something that I wanted to bring into fruition. You know what I mean? And, putting the most important things like Yahweh Yeshua, the Torah, like, all that good stuff that, makes me who I am, who I, have to, where I answer to. You know what I mean? That's why I treat people the certain way when I do readings. Like, because it's just like at the end of the day, I have to answer to God. So, this is just my own thing, but everybody is different. And I'm just like, I have to be able to look myself in the mirror when I do when I do readings and how I interact with people and how I treat people. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm very busy, which I'm very grateful for, because once upon a time it was quiet. You know what I mean? And when it's quiet, me and my brain don't get along too well. We just kind of go into panic mode. But going back to like what Joyce Meyer said, to stop robbing yourself of your peace. Stop overthinking of things that, like I'm sitting there thinking like, the next like 3 years, the next 5 years, and it's just like, why? Live in this moment, live for today, get done what you can get done. I woke up, I was tired. I did not want to get up, and I was like, I could sleep in, and I'm like, no, get up. It's like, we got to get back into this routine. This is where the balance. And I feel like everybody is like that. Some people, unfortunately are under the weather, so they had to call out and all that good stuff. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Recovery. We don't realize how much energy we actually exert when we're around other people. Or we're dealing with certain situations. That's why I was just like, that meditation, I came out of it. And I was really all over the place in the beginning because I haven't done a meditation in a while, like almost over a year probably. So I was just like, let's get a meditation in. I sat there and I was doing the meditation. You know what I mean? And I just kept going back into it. Like, I'll come out of it. I'm like, let's go back into it. You know what I mean? Like, I could go again. So we went again. I think I came out of it 3 times and went back into it. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I could feel my shoulders drop. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like after the chaos that happened all last year, it's just like, you know what I mean? Kind of, we got to ground ourselves. We got a lot of cards last week talking about grounding ourselves. Whatever that means to you. So is that shoveling snow? Is that being outside? Maybe having a bonfire? I definitely miss it. My neighbor was having a fire. I'm like, oh, we have electric wires hanging a lot in the backyard, so I don't, you know what I mean? Why chance it? So we have the sun, and I love that. It's like, peace and harmony are coming in. Like, I was talking to this person I did the reading for, and I'm like, I'm guilty of it too. When it's like nothing, quote unquote, is happening in our life, we're kind of like, kind of blasé. It's like everything is happening in your life. That is a time to sit there and give time for yourself. Like, with myself, like, doing my nails, doing a facial, doing my eyebrows, maybe my hair. Like, I'm just talking about myself, things that I like to do for myself. You know what I mean? But it seems like it's work, but it's like if you space it out over weekends, it's not so bad. But I could have sat there and went to bed or watched movies, like, you know what I mean? I just put Dog the Bounty Hunter channel on, and, I really love that family, and I just sat there and it was on, and I already had watched some of the episodes early in the day. I just put that on. Laughing at the jokes and stuff that were going on, and I just sat there and anything. Like, I sat there and I had, like, words that I wanted, so I, cut those out, pasted them on. You know what I mean? Pictures, we have this, I guess kind of like a magazine newsletter that you have going on in the seasons, or, I find it's seasons, so we're due for a winter one. I haven't got one yet, but you know what I mean? I'll cut out the pictures in there, like things that I want to, for us to enjoy in our life, whenever that, we were blessed with it. But it's just like put everything and anything on there. Like, Kim from the Atlanta Housewives sat there and she wanted to go to Italy for the longest time. And, finally her work brought her to Italy. And after her work was done, her family came in and they were able to extend an extra 6-7 days, and they were able to explore Italy as a family. That's something she wanted to bring into her life. And she's just like, it didn't happen this year, doesn't mean it doesn't gonna happen next year. Judge Judy talks about this. Grandma Moses, she's just like, she ended up becoming a renowned painter, and she's just like, if it doesn't happen in your 20s, it may happen in your 30s. If it doesn't happen in your 30s, it may happen in your 40s. Some of us get caught up in this time trip, and I'm definitely guilty of it. Like, I'm this age, like, what's the point of this happening now? Like, I only have, and no offense to some of these posts that people put, but it's just like, there was I'm on TikTok a lot, and they were just like, if you're this age, you only have this much time. I was like, you know what? Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Especially this time of year when people kind of get in their head a lot. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, you only have this much. You know what I mean? No one wants to think about how much time they only have left with their family. You know what I mean? It's just like, damn. Like, especially someone that's very family oriented. I'm very family oriented. It's like, I don't want to think about that. You know what I mean? Especially when you really love your kids and all that good stuff. It's just like, you don't want to think about that. That's why I'm saying this is what Joyce Meyer is talking about. Stop robbing yourself of your day. Stop robbing yourself of your joy. Stop if something is making you feel a certain way, scroll past it. Don't watch it. Turn it off. You know what I mean? If someone's making you feel that way, you need to get rid of them. You know what I mean? You need to sit there and limit your time with them, because it's like, you don't need someone to make you feel like crap. You know what I mean? There is enough things going on in our own head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally posting this now, and I'm like, do I, finish posting that or pull cards? I'm like, let me pull cards. You know? I love the fact with the Empress, with the moon cycle we're in. I feel like a lot of people are going through hangover retrograde energy. It should lift today. It's Monday, January the 6th, in the late afternoon where I am. So it's just like, you know what I mean? It's, again, coming into this time period where it's just like, celebration, sleeping in, overindulging maybe in liquor. It shows like wine, but we indulged in foods and all this stuff. We had a good time, but now it's time to get back to, you know what I mean, eating those deeper greens and stuff. I'm not saying you have to eat it every single day and be a rabbit and da da da. No, sit there, but it does make a difference when you sit there and it's like, yeah, it does take a little bit more time. I'm guilty of it today. I did not feel like cooking at all, and I'm like, put the chicken in the oven, sit there and cook some green beans. It's like, I didn't want to cook the green beans. I'm like, no, you got to cook them. We had bought salad, big bags of mixed salad, and unfortunately, they had given us the ones that are gone. Like, they're all brown and gross, but it's like, how many times have they given us stuff that wasn't even supposed to be in our order? They didn't charge us for it. I'm like, I'm not going to complain because they didn't charge us for that, So I called them up and I said, hey, I only ordered this. I got that. Can you charge my card? I'm like, I don't feel comfortable keeping this. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. That's why I'm not going to complain about the salad. I even said that to my son. I said, I can't complain about these salads when, how many times there's been stuff in our orders that we didn't order. I call up to pay for it and they're like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, whatever. Kind of like this, yin and yang. It's like it balances itself out, I feel like sometimes they're like, the universe sees, like, how are you going to act to this? You know what I mean? Are you going to sit there and it was kind of disappointing because we had ordered tuna and avocados and all that good stuff to make a salad. But, that's what I was saying. I'm like, produce, I'll buy myself. It's hit and miss sometimes. But with the Empress, I feel like the fire of the tree, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about the tree of life. It's the year of the trees on, I believe it's February 14th. They turn a year older. On according to the Hebrew calendar. But you know what I mean? I feel like Empress is all about this rebirth, but I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like fire energy for some reason. I feel like because of the burning bush kind of thing. Or you see those bushes that everybody has and they turn that really, really bright red at a certain time of the year. But I feel like this is where it's like, rebirth and, you know what I mean? Being patient as this rebirth happens. Being patient as we're coming into January into 2025. For me, I don't feel like it's the new year. Like, we follow the Hebrew faith. We had our new year in October, but I feel like the Chinese New Year is more on point of when the new year is, because I feel like we kind of get back into the flow of work. You know what I mean? I feel like 6 weeks we get back into the flow of everything. You know what I mean? And then I feel like with the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, it lines up better because it's supposed to be 28 days in a month. It's supposed to be 13 months, so I feel like theirs lines up a lot better. So I feel like it's just like this time it's like trying to get into habits. You know what I mean? Is it going for a walk? Is it, something you want to improve on? You're never too young. You're never too old. It's never too late to start. When you want to sit there and change something in your life, you know what I mean? You don't like something about it, start now. It takes that's what it takes. They always say the longest journey starts with a single step. It's you taking the action to make things happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching lovely Mimi. I love her. She's on TikTok. I think she's funny. I love her family. You know what I mean? It's, you can see, like, now they're starting to show me on YouTube her older videos. I'm like, damn, this girl's been at this a long time. You know what I mean? And now she's reaping the rewards of it. So you could see how she's evolved, how her family's evolved, and everything, like how her life has evolved. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just like you could see people that have been doing this for a long time. My kids follow Corey Keshin. He's another one. Where he started and where he is now, it's like, yeah. I even tell my kids, some videos will get 1 like, some videos will get 1 billion likes. It just depends, what the day is, when you post, and all that good stuff. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm like, I post. I felt, that I needed to be out there, and that's that. Leave it there. Just, it'll reach the right people when it needs to reach the right people. I said, even if your video does 1 now, I said they'll start pumping their For You page with you because they liked your content, and I said they'll start watching the older videos. I do. Anyone that I like, I'll sit there and I'll go back into their For You page and start watching their stuff that they posted before. because I only had them come into my life at that moment. The Three of Cups again, celebration. I feel like celebration of the trees is significant. I feel like, again, celebrating another year, but it's just like, what do you want to change? What do you know what I mean? Is it eating healthier? Like, me and my mental health, because, shadow side, like I said, I'm sitting there thinking about the next 5 years, and it's like they posted yesterday, it's like what you are living now, they're like, where you are living now is what you were praying for before. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And it happened out of the blue. Like, we applied, and I was just like, oh, I guess they don't have any, availability. It's something that I had given up to God. I'm like, God, I don't know what's going to happen in this situation, but I trust you. I literally did that. Someone had made a nasty remark, and I'm like, what can I do? I'm doing everything I can in this situation. Let go and let God. I got upset about it. I was sitting there. I was washing dishes. I think I was putting away groceries as well. I just looked up into the sky because I love that my sinks have always looked over, the outdoors. I found it very peaceful, and it was just like, sitting there, and it's just like, God, I just looked up to the sky, and I'm like, I know this is in your hands. You know what I mean? I know you'll take care of this. Took care of everything. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn. It was stressful as hell. You know what I mean? But God got us through it. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes things will just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like they're saying, like, things have been kind of out of whack here, but you have what it takes, the discipline and everything to get through this. You know what I mean? Ace of Pentacles, it's like, talking about you're about to come on bark. They're sitting there offering you the pentacle. But if you look behind it in the traditional cards, you see this mountain in the back. And it's like, you're about to go through this change. You're about to sit there and start a new adventure. You know what I mean? And you're willing to take this on. You're willing to go through every level to get to the top again. You know what I mean? So it's just like, being patient. We got the, they call it the Father of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles. And I feel like it's like concentrating on money endeavors. I was just watching someone, and he's like, the CPP is going up, this and this is going up. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you sit there and you're like, oh, nice, we got a raise. And then it's like rent went up, and then our health benefits went up, and now the CPP and all this stuff is going up. I'm like, damn, you guys already take like $6 off of my check every single $500 to $600 every paycheck, and it's like, now you're gonna take even more. You know what I mean? When you look at your take home, you're like, damn, I made all this, but I only take home that. It's like they're taking half, if not more. It's like, damn, it's getting harder and harder. But getting on, again, let go and let God, But the Three of Cups, I love that. Like, I love the threes because there's, like, physically three of us, but I know there's more. We like to include Sonny, Shane, and Dad and stuff like that. But, you know what I mean? I feel like the three, it's like, who are your core, you know what I mean? The people that really hold you down. But, celebrations. Some people are celebrating birthdays, anniversaries. You know what I mean? Shane's passing anniversary is coming up. But, I feel like with God blessing us with Sonny, it's just like, to trump what happened. It's like, it's not right on his passing anniversary, but it's right there. It's like a couple of days before. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like painful events in our life. There's somehow, some way, whomever you believe in, Yahweh, Yeshua, the universe, divine creator, Gaia, Mother Earth, it's like they will send something to sit there and numb that. And I tell my kids that, like, when my dad passed away, I'm like, 6 months later, I met your dad, and I had you guys. You know what I mean? So it's just like they knew how much that loss meant to me. Like, you know what I mean? It was hard to wrap your head around and kind of fathom what would happen there, but it's just like, me and Shane met, we were on the same page on everything, and you know what I mean? We had kids and everything. We started our own little family, and it's just like, I did definitely feel it still, but, like Spirit would tell me, they don't want me to be sad. You're here to celebrate Easter with your kids now. Every Easter, because he passed away on the Easter weekend, like, we had it drawn out everything a lot longer, but at this, you know what I mean? It's nobody's fault. You know what I mean? It happened, but you know what I mean? It's just like everybody did the best that they could. They have families too. Their life doesn't revolve around unfortunate events of others. You know what I mean? But it was just like, it just drew everything out a lot longer. But at the same time, it's just like, there will be things in your life that will trump the bad things that have happened in your life. It'll sit there and fill that void. We learn, you don't truly get over it. You learn to build around it. You know what I mean? So I feel like, especially with the Sun card, you know what I mean? They're like, peace and calm and success. You know what I mean? Like, all these things that you're trying to bring into your life will come in, You know what I mean? Especially after the Star card. And I get like with the patience with the Empress. It's like be patient and enjoy this comfortable peace. Because we know once upon a time it wasn't so peaceful. You know what I mean? But it's just like as the sun starts to illuminate our life, the days are getting longer again. Like literally, like, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm going through my camera footage and you can see that the sun is out a lot earlier because I know going through my camera footage, I'm like, no, this was darker, you know what I mean, in December. So it's like now the days are getting longer again. So it's just like I said, you know, you're struggling mentally. Like it's like find things that sit there and get you out of that. Watch comedies. That's the biggest thing for me. Wendy Williams, you know, and I wrote her and told her that. I'm like, you were the one thing that broke up my day after my husband passed away. I'm like, 1 hour a day, my brain was able to turn off, and I watched you, and you made me laugh, and I was able to, and I would hate when her show was ending. I'm like, oh my gosh, back to reality. But it's just like, you know what I mean? I'm thankful that I had that, you know, hour, 45 minutes that I was able to sit there with Miss Wendy on her chair, talking the way she talked, you know, doing what she do. You know what I mean? And it's just to see her now suffer, it breaks my heart. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't like her, but you know what? Those that love her, love her. You know what I mean? She's shady, but you know what I mean? It's just like, come on. You know what I mean? I know it's at someone else's expense sometimes, but you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, you find yourself chuckling. You know what I mean? And it's all in good fun. She don't mean it to be harmful or anything. That's just the way she is, you know? But, you know, I feel like you have a lot of things coming in here. I feel like for 6 weeks here, it's just like this lull time, void of course, getting used to being back into, you know, routine and, you know what I mean? I feel like getting back into that flow of work again, you know? It's nice when you're able to have a break. You know, let your brain, that's what I'm saying, like, you know, meditation, working out. I feel like picking up a book, like maybe you're getting into reading, or maybe you're getting back into some spiritual endeavor. Like I got a channel message, how did they put it? Learn knowledge or something like that. Like I need to gain knowledge with something. So it looks like I'm studying something else. So I you know, we'll see what that is. But, you know, it's just sit there, take it day by day. You know, do the best you can. Get up. You know, if all you did was get up, have a cup of coffee, kind of putter around the house, participate, and went to bed early that night, you tried. You know what I mean? You know, by the grace of God is another day, and try again. You know, the biggest thing is we can't be hard on ourselves. And with the Empress in a seated position, you know, they're showing the traditional, if you go to astrology answers, it's that card. You know, where she's sitting down, she's got a pregnant belly, she's got her hand on her stomach, and she's got her hand on her scepter, and it's just like, just be patient. You know what I mean? Maybe this is where I was saying, like, you know, when you're doing, like, facials, your nails, your eyebrows, your hair, you know, your toenails, like, stuff like that. It's just like, this is the time of month, you know what I mean? Because we're indoors. It's just like, you know, you can do your toenails. You know what I mean? While you're between watching shows and stuff like that. Or, you know, you're sitting there and it's like maybe you're like myself and have one of those, like, at-home laser machines. It's like you shave your legs. You sit there and laser your legs. So, because, you know, when the summer time comes, you're not having to sit there and shave your legs, another task to do during the summer. You know what I mean? It makes the hair grow back not as frequent. You know what I mean? So, one thing that they were talking about, and I will play this song in here, because I noticed the video quality when I sit there and save it from TikTok and post it on YouTube, the video quality, like the cards are fuzzy. So I'm going to change that. This is the Rhythm of the Night. So look up that song. I don't know if that's profound to anyone, but that's what they were playing. So I wrote it on my hand because I was like I was signing on to work, and I was like, that song's in my head, and I'm just like, all right, so maybe that means something to someone, you know? This is the Rhythm of the Night. But I'll play it on TikTok. YouTube won't let you play it because you'll get flagged for it, and then whatever. But, you know, I'm not going to sit there and put it on the computer and go through all that. But just take it easy with yourself, you know, let the ebb and flow happen. The sun is coming back into our lives, you know, the days are getting longer again. Just be patient. Look forward to those celebrations if you're celebrating anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeless pill. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.